G'day, I'm Mighty, and welcome to the Mighty Outdoors. So, you've watched the videos already. You know that I've finished my loop around Shikoku on the Ohenro pilgrimage. That was more than 1,300 kilometers and a whole lot of mountains, all in the name of men's health this Movember. So, now that you've seen my epic solo bikepacking pilgrimage adventure, you're probably interested in doing it for yourself. Or maybe you're thinking about some other adventure that you want to do as some bikepacking, and you're interested in what sort of gear you want to need. Okay, so before I throw all of my stuff in the wash, I've got everything which I brought with me on this amazing adventure, and I'm going to break it down into 3 simple categories. Stuff which I brought and needed and would definitely take again. Stuff that I brought, didn't need, but would still bring, and the blue basket, stuff that I wouldn't bother bringing again, okay? Get off the couch, ditch all the chores. Let's go for an adventure in the mighty outdoors. So, first of all, we're gonna do the bike. The bike's the first thing. Now, you know what happened to my old bike? We know it's no longer with us. The new bike, the Giant Escape, did a great job. Right? The gearing was a little bit better than the Stevens. The brakes were fantastic. This is a good point that I want to make. When the bike is fully loaded, you've got a lot of gear on the back. Well, you might have, like I certainly did, had a lot of weight on the back of the bike. Disc brakes made a huge difference. Coming down some of the hills, without those disc brakes, would have been even more dangerous than what it was. I'm very, very glad to have had the disc brakes. I highly recommend them. If you don't have disc brakes, you've really got, I guess, 2 choices. You can reduce the amount of stuff that you bring in, okay? And that can include by spreading it, between the front and the rear, although I only had mine on the rear, or you take it even more slowly and more carefully. They're basically your options. But having the disc brakes was really good. As I mentioned, the gears were good. What else is worth mentioning on the bike? No, that's about it. We're going to leave it at that. Okay, so bicycle stuff. First of all, mountain biking shoes, not road shoes. You could perhaps get away with flat pedals and mountain biking shoes, not sneakers, but something like that. These were good. They've got enough grip on the bottom that they were useful, but also, of course, being able to click into the pedals made for easier pedaling. Would definitely bring them next time. Bicycle helmet, no brainer. Okay, obviously. This one has of course, the Pilgrim's hat still tied to it. All I've done is just tied it with a bit of string. Had to reinforce it with some cable ties when it started to fall apart. This was also really good. And I guess I'll use this opportunity to say that the clothing, by wearing the proper attire, being the hat and the vest, made me stand out, obviously, as a pilgrim. And I really feel that it was the right thing to do, being on the pilgrimage, and it endeared the people of Shikoku to me. If you go there and you're just riding it around and you're not doing it as a pilgrim, then I don't think you should expect quite the same level of generosity and assistance from the local population. They really do value highly all the pilgrims who come and do it. So, of course, no brainer, right? Absolutely, you definitely need a bicycle helmet. Now, what else for the bicycle stuff? Okay, bicycle gloves. Didn't use them at the start of the ride, but towards the end of the ride, yes, I used them more and more, particularly on some of the colder days, just as also for a little bit of a padding on the hands. So my hands are actually, I've still got a bit of numbness in this part of the hand and on these 2 fingers, just as a result of, holding the handlebars, I guess, so long. Would definitely bring those again. This is the stole which pilgrims Some of them walk with it. I didn't. I just put it on when I visited the temples. Again, this like the hat and the vest is definitely worth having. There's the vest. If you're doing it as a pilgrim, okay, this is all sweat stained now, but you know, this was definitely worth having. Definitely good. So I'd be very happy with that. Excuse me, sticking my big bum in the picture. Would definitely bring that again. Okay. Now, what else is bicycle stuff? Okay, bicycle bags. So this is the Ortlieb bag that I had on the front of the bike. Perfect size, as it just happens, for the book which I was collecting the various stamps and calligraphy in. It was good. I used the map case for a little bit, but that wasn't. I used the phone more than anything. I did get caught in the rain once. This kept all the rain out. The Ortlieb bags, both this one, the ones that I've got, and the 3 that I have on the rear, were very, very good. I use Ortlieb bags. Well, this one, my father bought these. These are his bags. But I have also purchased a number of those Ortlieb duffel bags. In fact, when I take the family camping, we've got one each. Everyone's a different colour, and that's the everyone gets one bag. They throw all their stuff in that one bag, and it's been really good. So that was definitely good. Definitely bring that bag in the future. Another bag that goes on the bike is the saddle bag. Now, in this, I didn't actually need to draw on this. I had no problems with flat tyres on this ride, which is very, very good luck. But inside of it, I have one, definitely bring in tube, 2 tubes, a multi-tool, definitely bring it again, a tyre boot in case I had severely damaged the tyre, would bring that again, and a puncture repair kit, okay, worth having, definitely. And of course the bag to keep it in would all go with me next time. Bicycle cover. This I bought, I didn't end up needing to use it. My family came and they dropped me off at Temple Number 1 and picked me up from Temple Number 1, so I didn't need to use it. However, I brought this with me because if I had have needed to take a intercity bus or any public transport, I would have needed it to be able to get on the train. So, if you're doing bikepacking in Japan, it's worth having. If you're not in Japan, you probably don't need it. But I was here, so this is something I didn't use, but would still bring in the future. All right. Okay, moving on to how I recorded the rides. I have a Fitbit, I have my mobile phone, and a Garmin. Here we go. Okay, so these sit up on the cockpit, right up on the handlebars. The Fitbit was good because I just ran it as like a secondary backup in case I had any problems with the Garmin. Sometimes the Garmin would crack it and I'd lose the data. So this was good. I did use it, I'd bring it again. Mobile phone, no brainer. Bring that. Garmin, absolutely. Tracks your elevation, tracks your GPS. It was a good little unit. Thank you to my mate Jeff for letting me use it. Would definitely bring it again. Okay. The Omnicharge. Interesting bit of kit. Bit of weight to it. And on this journey, if I was doing it again, I wouldn't bring it. Reason being is that there are so many convenience stores where you can just sit down and plug in. There were free power points everywhere. I was never far enough away from anything to really needed it. You know, it wasn't necessary. If I was doing the trip again, I wouldn't bring it. A few more bicycle things. Bicycle pump. Didn't need it, would definitely bring it. Yes. A little bell for alerting pedestrians. Needed it, used it, very good. Rear tail light. Yes, definitely worth having. This one's rechargeable via USB, which is handy. You can get a battery one. There's batteries available at all the convenience stores. It's not a problem. Used it, would definitely bring it again. Okay, the drone. which I have here in a low pro bag. I was in two minds about this when I was initially packing, because there's a little bit of weight to it and it takes up a bit of space. But I found it was, obviously I was able to capture some shots which I think really helped make the videos. So I'm glad I brought it. The other thing is that with this drone, you're able to take one of the, these are the batteries for the drone, okay? Now this is a DJI Mavic Air. Now these batteries have an attachment which allows you to convert it into a little power bank. So, with regards to batteries, the Garmin wouldn't last all day. The phone wouldn't last all day either. So I'd use one of these batteries, connect the USB cable to it, and charge it on the go. This was worth having. I wouldn't leave home without it again. I'd leave the Omnicharge, I wouldn't bring it next time. This, I wouldn't leave. This was really good. I was very, very glad to have it. The batteries, each one of these, contains about half the amount of power of the Omnicharge. It's a very, very good battery, and I was, yeah, that was worth having. So yeah, ditch the Omnicharge on a journey like this. You know, the Omnicharge is still very good. I'm still very glad I've got it, but on a journey like this, nah, didn't need it. Okay, and cable, got to bring all your cables. Okay, what's next? Let's see. What's in here? Aha! GoPro 5 and chest mount. Brought it, didn't use it, wouldn't bring it again. Okay, this is riding clothes. No, I'll do that separately. Here we go. GoPro Max. Okay, the GoPro Max. Could have done without it, but of course, because I had it with me, I used it and was able to capture those, you know, really those amazing 360-degree clips coming down some of the mountains. So, you know, for the fun factor, okay. Yeah, I'd probably still bring this one again in the future. I'd put that in there. So, yes, used it and would bring it again. Okay, what's next? Hang on. Okay, the Ortlieb bags. This is what the pan is, of course. You're all familiar with it. You've seen the videos. These were really good. Kept the rain out, even if it was horrible weather. Definitely bring those again. Very, very happy with those Ortlieb products. This one here has all the sleeping gear. Thermarest, absolutely. That was good. That was worth having. A microfiber towel, yeah. Look, I used it once or twice. If I had have got really, really wet, it would have been a lot more necessary. But I did use it, and I would still bring it again. I think you got to have a basic towel. Now this one's of a reasonable size, about an arm span across, about the length of the bike. You could go one perhaps half the size, but still worth having. Liner, sleeping bag liner. This one's a Cedar Summit Thermo Light Fabric Reactor Extreme. Definitely worth having. So on nights where it wasn't that cold, it was plenty to sleep in just this. I don't like just to sleep without, you know, a thin blanket or a sheet or whatever. This did a really good job. Now, when it got cold, and it did, and I was surprised that it did, but you know, it got really cold, this inside the sleeping bag just made it a little bit more warmer. Definitely worth bringing. Absolutely. Wouldn't leave home without it again. Speaking of sleeping gear, this is the sleeping bag. It's a Vango Ultralight 900. I've had this one for at least 20 years. It's micro loft, so it's not a down bag, it's synthetic filling. Did a good job. By about, come the end of the first week, I was still questioning why I brought it. And then the weather changed. And I was so glad that I did. I would have been in a lot of trouble had I not had it. So you know, if you're going out for anything more than a couple of days where you've got some surety about the weather, and it depends on where you're headed. If you're going to the mountains, of course, it's a very different set of circumstances. But you've got to have a sleeping bag. Now, you could probably get a lighter one, but this is what I've had available, and I'm glad I had it. That last week without a sleeping bag would have been no fun, seriously. So yes. I was questioning it for the first part of the week, but then the second part, I'm glad I had it. Here's my tent, one-person tent. Very glad to have had it. Now, I did see some pilgrims out there without tents, and I know that some of those pilgrims had problems with mosquitoes and bugs and all that sort of stuff. I feel a lot more comfortable sleeping in a tent. There's a little bit of weight to it, but I think it's still worth having for me. You could try with a bivy bag instead, and for those of you who don't know, a bivy bag is effectively like a waterproof cover for your sleeping bag. You could do that. On all the nights which I stayed outside, I was always able to find somewhere to sleep under. So you could do it. You could do it, you know, you could just put a bivy or not a swag, but a bivy or a lightweight tent, even without the fly. On many nights, I use it without the fly. You could just do that. There's plenty of roofs. You know, I mean, I stayed in the roadside stations, in parks, even in that toilet block. You'll find a roof somewhere, okay? So yeah, but the tent was good. Tent, I would definitely, again, doing it again, I would still bring a tent. And that was all that was in that bag there. Okay, now, what do we got here? This is here we go. This is clothing, I believe. Let's have a look. All right. Oh, all this needs a good wash. Okay, so. Okay, hat, didn't need it. It's not very heavy, but with the conical one, I just didn't need it. Different if perhaps if you're in the middle of summer, you might want to consider it. And if you haven't got a big conical pilgrim's hat strapped to the top of your helmet, then yes. But for me, didn't need it, wouldn't bother bringing it again. Stuff sack, excellent, would definitely bring that for the clothes. One shirt, now. I had a shirt and a t-shirt. This shirt did not get used, wouldn't bother. Pair of lightweight shorts, yes, used them, definitely bring them again. Pair of underpants. Some pajamas, I got Japanese style ones. Just nice to have something else to wear other than a t-shirt. Yes, you could just bring an extra pair of t-shirt and a pair of boxers. Would be a bit lighter. But yes, I would still bring those. Another pair of underpants. Cycling gear, what do we got here? Okay, so shorts, jersey, socks, undershirt. That was just one set, absolutely. And I brought 2 sets of cycling clothes with me. Only one undershirt, but yes, 2 pairs of shorts, 2 jerseys, 2 pairs of socks. Definitely, no brainer. This thing was good. This one I got from the Taiwan King of the Mountain race. It's some people call it a had. It's like you can use it as a scarf. You can use it as something on your head. You can use it as a mask. Anyway, really useful. I used it under the helmet, made it all a lot more comfortable. Would definitely bring it again. Okay. What else have we got? Let me do it from back here for a little bit. Down jacket, lightweight down. Very good to have, definitely. It got cold on those mountains. I was very happy to have that. Put that over there, I'd bring that again. What's this here? Black t-shirt. No, that came with me afterwards. That was a spare. Another set of riding gear, yes. And that second set of socks that I was talking about, yes, use them plenty. Tissues. Tissues for toilet paper. Don't need it. Plenty of them, plenty of toilets around. Didn't need that. Okay. Charging cables for the drone and for devices. Yes. Pack them. Important. I have just a diary which I keep, a little notebook. Yeah, I kept a diary as I rode. I was glad that I did. Used it every day and would do so again. Here's that t-shirt I was talking about. Yes, definitely want that. Now, there's heaps of stuff in here I didn't use. Tubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any more? 5. 5 additional bicycle tubes. Now, let's say, because I've already got 2 that would definitely bring, that I've always got in the saddlebag. Perhaps 1 more. Don't need those 4. Didn't need it. A bit of wire. Now this was given to me by that friendly fellow early on. Came in handy as I tried to fix the bike. Now look, with the wire, it's not a bad thing to have, right? It's a bit stronger than cable ties. You don't need this much. A couple of strands of this sort of wire. You've seen it, probably seen it before, but it's nothing remarkable. It's just sort of wire. Couple of strands of that. Yes, you could probably bring it, but that much? Nah. Chuck that in the nut pile. Okay. Leatherman, yes, always good to have. Very useful when I was trying to repair the bike. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to manage the wire. Bracket for a GoPro. Didn't use it. Should have left it home. Head torch. Used it all the time. Definitely bring it. Extendable pole, which I used, not only to drive my washing, but also to get the GoPro up in the air. Yeah, all right. Yeah. I mean, look, if you didn't have the GoPro 360, I wouldn't bother. So look, I'll put it in the middle pile. It's a bit of an optional one. Chest strap for heart rate. Yes, I'm keeping the data, so I need that when I'm on the bike. What's this? Nail clippers. Okay, I like my nails trimmed. I had to buy this because I didn't bring one with me. I only use it once. You know what, just trim your nails before you go. If you're going for less than 10 days, won't be a problem. So, you know what, I wouldn't bother next time. Just trim your nails before you go. All right, cable ties. Yes, useful. Definitely bring cable ties. You don't need it. You only need half a dozen of them, but they're very good. Bicycle lock. Thanks to my mate Trent for the bicycle lock. Great to have. You know, I could just lock the bike up if I was going away for any period of time. When I was camping somewhere at night, I'd lock it up just next to the tent, or lock it to the tent, lock it to a pole, whatever. Worth having. Doesn't weigh that much. Being a cable type, I was able to twist it in and out of the wheels, around things. It was worth bringing. I'd bring that again. More toilet paper. Wouldn't bother. Couple of plastic bags. All right, now what I got here? Now I got some tubes of stuff. What have I got? I got some body wash, bubble bath, shampoo. Okay. Shampoo, nah. Don't need it. In a place like Japan, go to the onsen, go to the public baths, have a wash, find a shower at a hotel, whatever. You don't need to bring that stuff. You know, it doesn't weigh a lot, but you don't need it. Body wash, I'll leave one. I did use one to do a little bit of laundry, so there's some benefit in that. Bit of toothpaste, it's always good to have. Use that. Lip gloss, nah, didn't use it. Couple of masks, yes, you need those in this day and age, unfortunately. They're here to stay. Chain lube. It's a funny one. Didn't end up using it. But had I continued to ride the Stevens for a bit longer, I was probably about time to put some more chain lube on it. So it sort of goes in here, but you could have done without it. More toilet paper. Rope. 10 meters of 2mm rope. Fantastic. This is a little beauty. I can't believe how much I used this rope. If you're going away, it weighs practically nothing and it is so useful. Bring yourself some rope. Definitely. I got my wrap ties. Okay, the famous wrap ties. Been very, very happy with these. Used them when I was pitching my tent. Used them to hold all my bags onto the back. Great little product. I prefer it to a rope. These are elasticized, so they have a bit of stretch to them. Very good, very happy. We'll definitely bring those on all future adventures. Razor, which I picked up somewhere. You can rough it. What have I got here? I've got a souvenir. Okay, a couple of souvenirs. Yes, fine. All right, you've got to have your souvenirs. Yeah, I'll stick those in there. The manual from the new bicycle, you wouldn't ordinarily have it, so I'll put it in there. A couple of Band-Aids. And then the rest is just rubbish. Okay, and that's the empty bag. So yes, worth having. Now, what I like about this Ortlieb bag, the big one, is that you could stick whatever you needed to stick into it, and you could always roll it up and make it smaller as you needed to. All right, I'm a big fan of these. I've said it before. I'll probably say it again. Yeah, so that was really good. I would bring that again. What have I got left? There's not much, but there's some important stuff. This didn't get much airplay. Pseudo cream, right? If you're going to spend 15 days sitting on a bicycle seat, you've got to look after your skin. I was in two minds about whether to bring it, because I don't usually use it, but by about day 4 or 5, I was glad that I did. It just helped to protect my skin. You could use a chamois cream on your bicycle shorts as well. I'm sure that'd do a good job too. This just applies directly to the skin. You can get it at your local pharmacy or supermarket or whatever. They use it for kids. It's for nappy rash, basically. Very good. Goes on thick, stays on, and protects you well. Yeah. If you're going on anything longer than a couple of days, be bringing that. Okay, what else is here? I've got my book, of course, for all of the beautiful stamps and calligraphy that I collected on my journey. That was definitely, of course, important, as well as they're not trading cards, but as well as the what do you call them? The prayers and the various deities that came from the temples. I'm keeping all those as a memento. Run out of space over here. I can go there. Okay. What else have I got left? Pair of sunnies. Yes. Definitely worth having the sunnies. Everything else that I've got. Oh, this is the last of it. Toothbrush. Yes, bring a toothbrush. Then I've got what I've got. I've got some energy bars, which I just bought along the way. These are protein ones. They were good. Had a pen. You need a pen. Little coin purse. Yes, along with your wallet. Oh, what's this? This is just a red bean energy bar. Some piece of candy. And some of those slips, which I didn't use. So that's that. That's the lot. All this stuff was on the back of the bike. And when I think about it, there's a little bit that I didn't use, but most of it was definitely used. So, what does it weigh? Well, let's find out right now. Basket 1. That's 7.9 kilograms. And 2.2 for the Ortlieb bags. 2.4 kilograms of stuff which I shouldn't have brought with me. So there you have it. All the gear which came with me on my ohenro solo bikepacking pilgrimage adventure around the island of Shikoku in Japan. Now, there are only two more things that I didn't mention. The first is my Gore-Tex jacket. A good jacket is definitely worth bringing, whether you use it in the rain or on those cold descents coming off the mountain. The other thing is the GoPro Hero 8, which I'm using to record this video at the moment, which comes on a GoPro extendable pole with a tripod on the bottom. That's it. Now, it seems like a lot of stuff, and I guess in some ways it is. There could be ways, or there are certainly ways to make it lighter. And for every traveller, it's going to be an individual decision about what they choose to bring and what they choose to leave behind. But no matter what it is that you bring with you, it's the memories that you bring back which is the most important. Anyway, thanks for joining me in the Mighty Outdoors today, and I can't wait to see you next time in the Mighty Outdoors. Hooroo!